Today we are ripping the all-new Leaf Metal baseball product. It is jam-packed full of Hall of Famers, current players, and our favorite here at Baseball America, prospects. And we're going to tell you all about them here. I am Seth Mates, and I am joined by Mr. Baseball America himself, JJ Cooper. JJ, welcome. And I'm not a breaker, you're not a breaker, but today we're going to open up some baseball cards.
So I'm not a breaker, you're not a breaker, but Seth is basically our collectibles nut. I'm here along for the ride
That's a nice way
I know
of
the
saying
players, but I'm not as much. This is going to be fun for me because I'm excited to do this. Because for one, this is a loaded set, but for two, I'm enjoying kind of getting the chance to do this. And hey, if you enjoy this, like and subscribe because we're going to do a lot more of this, getting more into the collectibles.
Absolutely. And I appreciate it. Collectibles nut is a nice way of saying that I have a problem. I should probably seek help, but it's a fun problem to have. So, real quick, JJ, it is kind of that time of year we're seeing a lot of prospect driven sets. Bowman Chrome just came out. Topps Pro Debut just came out. Bowman Draft will be out pretty soon, later this fall, probably. But today we're looking at a set that goes a little bit under the radar sometimes, but Leaf Metal is absolutely jam packed. You can see the front of the box here. We'll show you has number one draft pick Travis Bazzana. They got Charlie Condon, who is on the cover of our draft issue. Dylan Cruz, who's still right at the top of our top 100 list. One chase that I'm very, very excited about here is they have a triple auto inside the box where you get the top three draft picks from this past year. So how can you not get excited for stuff like that?
And the key thing about this one also is this is one of those sets where there is nothing that you're going to pull in this and be like, what? I got that. Okay, moving on. I don't think there'll be any card that we pull here that will be just like, moving on. There's no one here to do that. Maybe if we pull Ric Flair, I may be like, moving on.
There is a Ric Flair card in the box. You're absolutely right about that. But you'll see at the bottom here, and this is one type of the box here. This has 5 autographs and 2 cards. There's only 7 cards in here. 5 of them are autos. We're guaranteed a whole bunch of hits. There's parallels. There's numbered cards here. Whatever we get in here, it's going to be guaranteed to be great. There's a second size of this box where you get about double that amount. This is all available now on the Leaf website. There's a story right now on baseballamerica.com with a link out. But what do you say, JJ? You want to open this thing up and see what we got? Okay. Let me grab my... Again, I'm not a breaker. JJ's not a breaker, but I've seen this done in other places, and we'll try to do it a similar way. You can tell I'm a little bit nervous, JJ. Was there anything on the checklist that surprised you, JJ? Were there any names that you weren't expecting or anything that you're like, wow, that would be really cool?
So the thing that does jump out to me, Ritaro Sasaki. I mean, that's one where I would love to see us pull a Ritaro Sasaki because he's still in Japan. He may still be in Japan for another couple of years, depending on whether they decide to post him, whether he waits to become a free agent, a true free agent rather than the amateur free agent where he will be very limited in how much he can make. I have to go through arbitration free agency, just like Shohei Ohtani did. That would be one that would. It blew me away that he's in this set. I'll put it that way.
Well, let's see what we can do. So there's a card right on top here, so I don't want to show too much, but you can see it comes in a nice little stack just like that. And I'm going to try to open them here without giving too much away. So we're going to pull up one card at a time here, and JJ is going to give us his Baseball America insight as to the card. And I'm excited for this because this is a really, really fun product, and it does have a great checklist to it. So here's our first card. It's already shiny. Do you recognize the guy, JJ?
Not. I mean, again, especially it's I'm don't have my glasses on. So what do we got here?
Santiago Suarez.
Okay, Santiago Suarez, one of the best pitching prospects in the Rays organization. I think the thing that's most notable about Santiago is a great year, but notable for his command and control. Like if his stuff keeps growing to go with the pitchability that he already has, really watch out with Santiago Suarez. Easy, probably gonna be a top 10 prospect. I got to work on our Rays top 30. Pretty likely to be a Rays top 10 prospect, although they did make a lot of trades at the deadline that could end up shuffling that word. But he's going to be pretty high up, one of the best pitching prospects in the Rays organization. Was actually a trade pickup already. This is something the Rays love to do. He was a Marlin, if I remember correctly, and then traded.
It says right here. It says right on the back.
Traded last year. I can't read that, so I'm good. That's good that you're telling that. But traded to the Rays last year in the offseason. Had a very good kind of clearly the Rays. This is something the Rays love to do: identify a kind of a complex level player and nab them and then see, what they can develop. Junior Caminero is the guy who fits that profile. Obviously, we're talking about pitcher here in Suarez, but one of the better pitching prospects in a pretty loaded now Rays organization for pitching prospects. Couldn't have said that a year ago before they traded for guys like Santiago Suarez and Brody Perkins, and we could just go down the list.
Absolutely. Very, very pretty card. They don't call them refractors in Leaf, but kind of the similar-ish effect. Numbered to 35, which is kind of cool. There are a number of very low-numbered cards in the set, so this is a great hit. I'm a fan of this one. We'll set this one up on the stage. I'll put it over here for now. Put it over here.
Yes, you're definitely going to have to. I will tell you right now, I am not going to recognize these right off the bat, just from the standpoint of like between my my lack of glasses and the lighting. So.
Well, we'll do the slow reveal thing again. Yeah. I'm not a breaker, but I've watched enough breakers, and we'll give this a try. We're just having fun with it. We had a box of cards. We thought we would share this with you guys. Lots of prospects, and we're having some fun with this. So one thing you'll notice also, JJ, is a lot of times with the breakers, they'll scroll down a little bit and you get to see the top of the guy's baseball cap. But because Leaf doesn't, and Panini also don't have contracts with MLB, only Topps is allowed to use those logos. So
yeah, so we're not going to see that on
magenta hat, but we'll see here. So this looks like it's our other base card. Still no idea who this is?
No, keep going. Do not even ask me. I'll tell you, I cannot see it well enough to do that.
Gavin Grahovic.
Okay. Gavin Grahovic was one of the breakout college players of this past year. Texas A&M, kind of key part of why Texas A&M made the run that they did. What is that number?
I'm just saying it's numbered 4 out of 5. That's a pretty good hit right there.
That is a pretty good hit. No, it's all right. Again, please, that's not interrupting, but should be basically one of the best players in college baseball, again, going forward into 2025.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about this set also is if you look at the checklist, Hall of Famers, current players, minor league players, college players, all over the place. I mean, it's every level of baseball. And this is also the first baseball card set that's come out since July's draft. So it's the first technically professional cards of Charlie Condon, Bazana, etc. But another base. But
again, this clearly, as we see here, it also goes beyond that because we're talking about guys who are still in college. Something that really couldn't do a couple of years ago the same way. Nowadays, not a problem at all.
No, absolutely not. So Gavin Grahovic is card number 2. I'll put that over here. My makeshift little stage here. All right, card number 3. Everything else from this point on should be autographs, by the way. We're guaranteed 5 autos and 2 base cards, and those are the base cards. So we've already gotten our money's worth here. So
okay.
We got a rookie card.
Okay.
Let's see who we got here. Nolan Souza.
Nolan Souza. Okay, so again, we're delving in the world of draftees, which again, a couple of years ago we couldn't have done that. But Arkansas, if I remember correctly, I think that's a Razorback. What number is the card there we got there?
It's numbered 14 out of 25.
Okay, so basically, again, dominant freshman year at Arkansas. Arkansas should once again be one of the best teams in college baseball in 25. And Souza is going to be a key part of that, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if he was on our all freshman team or was consideration for our all freshman Baseball America team. But
and again to everybody out there, and again to everyone out there, thank you, JJ. This is one of the values. This is one of the reasons I love Baseball America. You know, I'm the guy on staff who designs the thing and thinks I know baseball, but I'm a minnow swimming with sharks when it comes to knowledge here. Working here has been amazing in terms of knowing these prospects, being able to scout them and collect their cards on a whole different level. And so that's why we've kind of expanded our coverage to collectibles, because you've told us that you're interested, and people like JJ and a lot of people here on staff can help bring so much value to your collection and tell you who to save, who not to save, etc. And we got a lot more fun stuff coming up for you here in the coming weeks. So get excited for that. You ready for card number 4, JJ?
Let's roll.
Okay. Again, nothing but autos.
I want a prospect auto, to be honest. That's what I'm looking for. You want a
prospect auto? Let me see what I have here. I'm skipping ahead here a little bit. Well, here's a prospect auto.
Okay, so you know what we're seeing here.
I know what we're about to see here. Well, you asked for something. I also saw the last card.
Let's roll. Let's roll. Prospect auto. Here we go.
I also saw the last card here, and people are going to definitely want to stay tuned for this last card.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready? Card number 4. Yep. The slow reveal. It's a right-handed pitcher. I'll tell you now, he's with your Cleveland Guardians, Daniel Espino.
Okay. So this is one of those cards that I would say, if you get this card, you want to hold on to it. It's high risk, high reward. When Daniel Espino has been healthy, go back sad to say 2 years ago now, but 2 years ago, April of 23, I think it was, there was no better pitcher in college baseball, in the minors, than Daniel Espino. He had a start. I remember I was on my back porch listening and watching it on MILB TV against it would have been an Orioles farm team. And I think he struck out the first 9, and it was just utterly lights out. I'm talking one of the best fastballs in the minors, legit breaking ball. If he's healthy, he's the best pitching prospect in the Guardian system. That's a big if, because the problem for Espino has been he's had shoulder soreness, shoulder injury. The last 2 years have kind of been largely a matter of kind of trying to get back on the field. So this is one of those high risk, high reward. If he can just pull it back together, stay healthy, this guy could be a stud. That's what we're going to be watching for with Daniel Espino.
Awesome. That's why I go to Baseball America. And it's numbered 4 out of 4. So it's a bookend card, meaning it's the top or the beginning or the end of the run. And it's only numbered to 4.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you because I'm not the collectibles expert. Would you rather have a bookend or a middle, or does it matter?
Bookend. Bookend is a unique thing, and I'll give you a quick story here. A lot of cards are numbered up to 50. And this year, Shohei Ohtani cards that are numbered 50 out of 50 are going for just about as much as one of one sometimes, because it's his 50-50 year. So you get a card that says 50-50 on it, and it's what. But bookend cards are very much valued by collectors, especially number 1. So, but this one's out of 4, so I would take any one of those, and that is a very nice hit right there. All right, card number 5. And again, not to get ahead of ourselves at all, because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but card number 7 is a banger. Technical term. All right, here. We've got another rookie here. It
looks like LSU? No, or you?
It's LSU colors.
Okay, it's not though.
And I love this. I saw this guy's name. I love this guy's name. Steve Monster Milam.
Okay, so it is LSU. It is LSU. Okay. So again, we're getting a very SEC heavy, SEC infielder heavy pack. The thing I'll say about Milam is to play early in your career at LSU is something that's kind of almost nowadays impossible. Because the thing that jumps out about it is this is the school that basically gets the best talent in the country. And Steve Monster, I do not know the background of Monster, but I mean, if you said Aaron Monster Judge, I'd be like, okay, that makes perfect sense. He's 6'8", he's bigger than most humans. I don't know where Monster gets his monster background from. What is the number on the card?
It's 23 out of 35. I believe all the cards in this set, or most of them, are numbered 35 or less. So this is you're going to get hits in this box regardless of even who you get, but the better the player, obviously. Right. It's a good number.
But yeah, so this is another one where you're talking about, okay, there's a couple here of like, let's see how they play this year. Let's see where they go in the draft and all this, but you're getting them early.
Absolutely. And LSU's had some pretty good luck in the draft in recent years.
Yes.
As I understand it, my layman's understanding here as I now drop the card. There we go.
So now we're on to number 6, right?
I have giant meat hands here. I apologize for that. All right, number 6.
Number 6.
This looks like it's a one of the inserts called Monumental.
Okay, so what is okay?
I'm assuming it's a college player because of metal bats. I'm assuming.
Okay.
But you tell me, JJ. Quenton Young.
Okay, Quenton. So Quenton he's a 2026. Did I lose? I just lost Seth. I'm adding Seth back. But a 2026
was it something high school I said?
Draftee. So again, you're getting far into the future here, but Quenton is one of the best prospects in that class. I would say that Quenton, if you wanted to use the monster nickname, Quenton is a little bit more apt for that nickname. So what does that say? What is the number on that?
1 out of 25. So that's a good thing, right?
Oh, that's a bang. You're asking me? I'm asking you. But even I know that's a good thing.
I learned from you, you learned from me. It goes both ways that way. But yeah, 1 out of 25. So that's a nice bookend card. That's a nice numbered card. I didn't mean to interrupt you, JJ. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, so if this is not the one that we got, like, I can't even wait to see what number 7 is going to be here. But you're again, we're talking about the 26th class. You can check all about the 26th class. I'm actually, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, I don't have the 26th class order memorized for me. I do remember that Quenton is, among the top prospects in the 26th class, if I remember.
I will say I'm very surprised that he doesn't have it memorized, because I kid you not, Baseball America is a remote company. The first time I ever met JJ in person was at the All-Star game last year in Seattle. And as a hello gift, I brought him a pack of Baseball America All-Star prospect cards from 1988. And I kid you not, he was rattling off stats on every single one of them. It's scary.
I'm embarrassed. He's a 25 draftee. That's where I got it in my head wrong. 25 draftee.
We'll forgive you just this once.
25 draftee, and Quenton currently ranks number 15 in our high school class of 2025. So, but I take 2 demerit points there for getting it wrong on which year he was.
Right.
He may have reclassed. Maybe he did. Did he reclassify? Yes, he reclassified. Okay, I don't feel nearly as bad about that. I had him in my head as a 26 because he was a 26, and then he reclassified. I don't feel bad now.
I love talking to JJ about this stuff. All right.
Okay, so this one, I'm excited about this one, and I have no idea what it is.
2 quick things when I reveal this card. Number 1, I'm going to reveal this one from the bottom up, and you'll understand why as I reveal it. And number 2, don't start talking about the player just yet, and you'll understand that why on that as well. Too.
I'm going to stay silent. This is all you right now.
This is.
I have no idea for the autograph.
Eric Batanti.
Okay. Oh, I think I know now.
And Cooper Pratt.
And there's going to be one other here, I think.
There's
one
other.
I know what the third one's going to be.
Do you have any guesses?
I have a 100% guess. This is going to be Jackson Chourio as the third. I actually said before when we looked at the checklist, you said, what card would you love to see in this? I said Jackson Chourio, Cooper Pratt, Eric Batanti.
I absolutely guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that we got a sealed box from Leaf with no advanced knowledge of what JJ wanted to talk about and what we were going to break, and knowing what was inside. I promise you that this is absolutely a total coincidence. JJ, tell me about this card.
Okay, so if you're watching this and I have to tell you about Jackson Chourio, then I apologize that how the algorithm got this into your feed, because there's no explanation where you're like, who's Jackson Chourio? But I'm going to be watching at minute 15, 16, 17 of a card pack. I don't know. I would send me an email if that's the case. But so having explained that Jackson Chourio is one of the best young players in the major leagues already, what's the number on it, by the way?
1 out of 4.
Okay. That's
this is a banger. I'm gonna get this graded and send it to you, JJ. It's your Christmas gift this year.
That's a great card. Okay, so now let's talk about the other guys though. Cooper Pratt. So you can find Ben Badler on our staff would make the argument that maybe Eric Batanti is going to be the better of these 2 guys. I'm a Cooper Pratt guy. Cooper Pratt was in Carolina this year, Zebulon, not far down the road from where I'm based. He was at the Futures game. I had a really fun time talking to him at the Futures game. At the Futures game, he made the point about how, it's not really pro game has been an adjustment, but his dad and him been working on it, where his dad was, when he was 12, was dialing up the machine to 100 miles an hour. So he's been hitting velo for a really long time. Cooper Pratt is a better infielder than I think we thought when he was coming out of high school. It's a shortstop who's I think is going to be able to stay there. Had a really good year this year. Batanti, more of the third baseman, but the bat's really good as well. That is the number 1 prospect, Jackson Chourio, for the Brewers system for the past couple of years. He's now graduated. Now you have Cooper Pratt, not the number 1 prospect, because there is a guy named Jesus Made who's really good. But now Pratt and Batanti. Pratt is in our 100. Batante's not far from it. That is a top of baseball prospect who's now graduated, who's, by the way, the same age as these guys, though, because Jackson Chourio did that as a 20-year-old. Then you have Cooper Pratt, and then you have Batanti. That is a banger of a card. That is the Brewers' future on a card right there.
And again, I kid you not, you saw us open the box. That was a happy coincidence and beginner's luck, and we're very, very happy about that.
And you're also the other the other cards I mentioned, this was a better one for the for a video, because I did say if we got a Brian Snitker card, because I covered when Brian Snitker was the manager in Macon twice years ago, so we'd have ended up talking a lot about Braves manager Brian Snitker, and if there was an Andrew Jones card in it, we were going to talk about that forever, because that was the player I covered in Macon in 1995 when he was 17, and I could talk about him for forever. But the card I said that I really did want to see was that card right there.
And there it is, front and center. I mean, I'm disappointed we didn't get a Greg Jeffries. He was my favorite player growing up, but I don't even think he's in the set. Maybe one day we'll see. But I'm glad everything worked out in your favor, JJ. And it's out of 4. Cards are all numbered. Not a bad break. I mean, only 7 cards, but you're getting banger after banger, lots of autographs.
So what are the odds on that, by the way? Because, I mean,
the odds of getting the card that you were talking about?
No, the guy who I said I would love to see that card, because there are 255 different players in this set, yes, and they have different cards.
and there's parallels up and down, and there's different numbers and all that stuff too. And there's only 4 of those that exist. It might exist in different parallels, but there's only a handful. So the odds are infinitesimal. It's not the odds of getting the Topps Pro Debut patch that'll be up for grabs in the Topps Update Chrome series, which are all 1-of-1s. You know, your odds of getting a Paul Skeens 1-of-1 Pro Debut patch, for example, is probably play the lottery instead. You stand a better chance. But
stand outside with a golf club and hold a 1 iron and see if God can hit a 1 iron.
Yeah, but this set is absolutely loaded. We didn't get any Hall of Famers. We got a ton of great prospects up and down, and these are the kind of cards you're going to want to hold on to for a few years as you work through stuff. And again, part of the reason why we're covering more of this now at Baseball America is I, as a collector, found myself going to our player database constantly when I would open boxes like this, sets like this. Who is this guy? Who's worth collecting? I know who Leo DeVries is. I know who Jose Perdomo is. What about the rest of these guys? And so now I have a better window into it. And I know who Jackson Churio, so I'm pretty happy now too. JJ, any final thoughts on the set?
Man, again, it is a truly a set where there is it's all bangers. Well, again, like I said, Ric Flair. I don't personally care if
he is in the set. Ric Flair is in the set.
I mean, and okay, I don't want to disparage any former players, but there are a couple of players where it's like, okay, if you pulled, if I pull a Ricky Henderson, I'm excited. There are a couple of players like, okay, but I would say the vast majority of this set are players who either, basically the way I would put it is either are players who all of a sudden you're going to become if you pull it, you're going to become one of their biggest fans for this draft prospect. And you're going to be, agonizing or wondering like, oh, you're going to find yourself tuning into Friday nights, like Arkansas versus LSU. That's what Seth's going to be doing now.
Yes.
Or it's going to be players where you're like, oh, okay, let's see when is Pratt getting to the big leagues? When is Eric Batanti getting to the big leagues?
As soon as Batanti gets into our top 100, Daddy's going to eat. It's gonna work out nicely. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this today. If you want to see more stuff like this, or you have other collectibles related stuff, baseball cards that you want to see, reach out to us. You know where to find us on social media. Definitely follow our YouTube channel and across all social channels, and we're gonna have a lot more fun stuff for you very soon. We're doing this because you guys told us that you wanted more of it, and we're excited. We're excited to dive into the prospect portion of it and be a resource for everybody out there. And JJ, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you had fun. I did. And hopefully we'll see everyone again really soon.
That was really fun.